Hello and a happy new year to you. Welcome to Eyewitness Report. 2017 saw us focus extensively on the state of infrastructure in the country. It was a harvest of bad roads, poor electricity supply, inadequate housing facilities and much more. Will it be different this year with increased budgetary allocation and a 100 billion naira sukuk bond to shore up infrastructure deficit? We'll keep our eyes on that space. Welcome again. I am Chris Elams. Solving the problem posed by the Apapa gridlock has become an issue of urgent public importance. Residents are finding it increasingly difficult to live their lives in Apapa, and as such, they are moving out. Join us as we take a cursory look at this seemingly unending trouble. The streets of Apapa bear the mark of the siege by the trucks and tankers that has befallen them. It's become a common sight to find empty buildings everywhere, with so many more set for sale, as owners and residents are no longer at ease and have decided to move out. For this resident, who is also a lawyer here, business is been very bad, and any time from now, he would be on his way out of Apapa.
I'm sure you've gone around and seen that a lot of people have left Apapa. Both residents, we're in the GRA now. The commercial aspect of Apapa, that's the Warehouse Road, Wharf Road, is bereft of any level of commercial activity. Even banks are starting to leave Apapa. It is that bad. I myself am on my way out as well, as I told you earlier. It's starting to affect property value in Apapa. Houses that erstwhile cost 30 million, 40 million, or even 100, 200, 300 million are down, completely down and out. You understand? Apart from that, we are also suffering. Professionals like us who have practices here. Our clients can't come and meet us. We are always out going to our clients. Every lawyer will tell you that when you negotiate from your client's office, you're negotiating from a point of disadvantage. So we are always negotiating with our clients from their offices because they can't afford to come here. Those who were wise enough left early. Those of us who stayed, who wanted to believe, who still believed that Apapa would turn around because we own our own properties, stayed back. But it's becoming blatantly obvious that we would all leave Apapa. So it's terrible. The infrastructure is collapsing. I understand that the government is working towards rebuilding the roads and the infrastructure. We are seeing it. But the point is, how quick is this thing going?
Businesses continue to quake under the pressure of the gridlock that has refused to go away.
Has arrived the seaport for the past 2 months now. Some of them have entered demurrage. We could not see a truck that will pick all the container outside the port, despite all the duties and the necessary clearing process have been done because of the gridlock. There's no sufficient vehicle to enter the port because of the bad road. Now, to even get out of the port is another nightmare. The entire bridge has been blocked. There's no passage for both in and out. Truck driver to move in and out of the port, and that is a major setback. I have promised to deliver some meters to some disco. Because of the raw materials sitting there at the port, I could not deliver the meter. So it's actually impacting the business, the overhead in terms of cost of maintaining the staff and every other thing.
In the view of this logistics entrepreneur, the Apapa gridlock runs deeper than the poor state of the road. He says the shipping lines are culpable.
The problem is not just expansion or that maybe the port has been built since 1960s, not just that. Our problem is the port users, the shipping companies. They bring in vessel into this country. That vessel we carry almost about 5,000, 10,000 containers into the country. By the time they offload those containers, you expect them to go back with same 10,000 containers back. They will not. They will be looking for exports to go back, to load their vessel. And so maybe they will take about 100 export containers and then begin to go to the African routes and begin to load the vessels until they get to where they're going to. They left the container in their container dump yard. But as at that time, before you know, they don't have a space. And then remember, the importers that brought in this container that has those goods pay for container deposits of 200,000 naira. Every container, 40-feet container you brought into this country, you pay container deposit of 200,000 naira. And you have a total number of days. You must return that container back to port. If you don't return it, it will start accumulating demurrage on you.
The Apapa port was established in 1913 and construction of the first 4 deep-water berths began in 1921. As far as this residence is concerned, the facility here needs to be relocated as it has become too small to handle the volume of transactions currently taking place here, which is over 80% of total cargo transactions in the country.
Apapa port is an old port. This is a port that predates the 1960s. Then we used to have 2-3 ships at most, 3-4 ships there. Now you're having a port that is handling over in a day 60 ships at the time the country's economy was booming. It's time for us to move to Badagry, where we have a natural deep sea port.
A recent survey by the Shippers Council of Nigeria shows that the logistic rings of the port in Apapa have at least 4 times more trucks than it should ordinarily cater to, making it almost impossible to ply the routes.